about how women of color maintain mental health through finding peace, life choices, and of course, self-love. I am your host, Renee Winters.
Well, welcome everyone to another wonderful podcast of Keeping Queens in Balance. And today I am very fortunate to have a wonderful guest with me. Her name is Pricha Lord, otherwise known as the Vegan Fitness Goddess. So thank you so much for being here.
Yay!
Yay!
Thank you so
Awesome.
much for having me. Thank you so
Awesome.
much,
Oh,
Renee.
thank you. Thank you. So let me share a little bit about you with my followers and my listeners. So you have
Okay,
an amazing bio. So let's share that out. Uh,
okay.
Fitness is second nature to Coach Lord. As a teenager, her love of weightlifting, exercise, and dance led to her first job managing a gym at the age of 17. This is also where she started leading group exercise classes early on. Uh, Prihad's career in fitness led to competitions. You got to talk about that a little bit. The Fitness America regional competition, Fitness America national competition, and following her Fitness America tour, Prihad became a caliente dancer for Univision Channel 23 Miami. Yeah, right? At the same time, she also taught professional ballroom dance. In 2014, she opened her own personal training company called Lord Elite Training. There, she helps people lose weight, gain strength. She coaches triathletes and hosts health retreats where
Yeah.
people come from all over the country to learn how to transition to a vegan lifestyle. A fixture on South Florida's training circuit, Priha has privately trained clients and led fitness classes at many health and wellness
Yeah.
centers. A lifelong and passionate student, Priha actively seeks new licenses in both fitness and nutrition. Priya also practices what she preaches. She trains Dale, and we see that on Instagram. And she competes in endurance races and competitions regularly. Her videos can be seen on YouTube under Vegan Fitness Goddess TV, and also has authored 5 books on vegan nutrition, which can also be purchased on her website. Her vision is global optimal health, exemplifying the benefits of healthy, balanced, and a strong body. She says, my goal is for my clients to achieve optimal health physically, mentally, and spiritually. Oh, what? Oh, you know what? And we have a lot to talk about. So, welcome again. Thank you so much for being
Thank
here
you
today.
so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Excellent, excellent. So I know I covered your bio. Is there anything I missed? Anything you'd like to share with my listeners that you want to just add in there, kind of throw it in there before we get started?
Well, no, my books are found on my website. I guess you could tell them the website,
Yes, yep,
lordelitetraining.com,
yep,
which is
yep.
also the name of the company. Yeah.
Good, good.
The books are vegan cookbooks for people who are just getting started or those who want to up their game, if you will, and kind of add some new variety. But all of my cookbooks deal with plant-based. They're not heavily reliant upon soy and
Okay,
things that a lot of vegans eat because they're not that healthy for
okay,
us.
okay.
So I just try to teach, the best way to eat in the quickest amount of time so that we can
Hmm.
get back to the gym and go
Yes,
back.
yes, excellent. Okay, yes, definitely. I know you can definitely expand on that as we go through our questions here. So that's great to hear. And also, I just want you to mention a little bit about your name, a very unique name. So can you share that
Yes.
out a little bit? It's a
So
beautiful name, beautiful name.
yeah, it's first out, you guys, I have a praying mother. You're gonna know this by the name, okay? Because first, well, my last name is Lord.
Right. Oh.
That right there is okay, right? That right there is. And my mom, she gave me Esther, which
Okay.
is also
From
biblical.
biblical as
Pricha
well.
is Hebrew. It means prosperity
Oh,
in the
yes.
Hebrew language.
Yes.
So most people can't really pronounce the ch
Right.
in the alphabet of the Hebrew alphabet. It's not an
Yes.
alphabet, it's alphabet. But I just let them say Prika or Priha, it doesn't
Yes.
matter, or Pri. I know what they mean. I know the energy that you're
Yes.
summoning. I know that you're referring to me. So I never, but yeah, Priha, Esther, Lord. So it's all very biblical. Prosperity, Queen, Lord, all of that.
Well, that's perfect because you are a queen, and oh, that's why you're here on the show to share
Thank
your
you. Thank
wisdom
you.
with
I'm
my
honored.
listeners. Thank you so much. So, I see you have a very strong fitness presence on social media. And of course, I talked a little bit about your bio when I shared it. So, can you tell me what made you gravitate toward fitness anyway? What took you there? What in life took you toward fitness?
I think I was born for it. It's weird. I can tell you how I got to my career later, but in the earlier stages, like I've always, my mother's is, I guess she's a health nut. Like she's always been healthy. She's always been dieting. She's always been exercising. So it's always been something that I've seen. She had like, that belt shaker machine when I
Oh,
was a little girl. She had
yes,
that one in the
yes,
living room. She had,
yes.
just exercise mat, little dumbbells, and she was doing, videos on TV. My mother would jog. So it wasn't unusual,
Right,
to see
right,
exercise happening anyway.
right, right,
And my dad was a dancer.
right. Oh,
Um, Not a professional dancer, but he was always singing and
dancing.
dancing. So the music and all that is just always there with us. My
Yes,
dad played he played soccer, as we say football, right? He played
yes.
that because my family's from Central America. We're from Belize.
Okay.
And so football or soccer is what we do. And so
Soccer.
my
Yes.
dad played that. And there's just all this active. My parents were active parents.
Right.
And
Yes.
that's how, so it was not anything unusual to say, oh, here she is doing this in the gym or exercising or teaching a role is nothing unusual for
Right.
us.
Right. So
Yeah,
it was embedded at a very young
pretty
age.
much.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
no, that's beautiful. That's
hmm
beautiful. So you knew that fitness was a way of life, you know.
Yeah. And
Um,
then so I would run with my mom. I just started to like go jogging with her when she would go out to jog.
mhm.
I love my mom so much. I literally do not want my mom out of my sight. So I'm like,
Oh.
so I would go jogging with her and grew to love running.
Oh,
Running is
beautiful.
my first, I love to run.
Right.
Even to this
Right.
day, like running,
Oh, yes.
I love to run. It's something about it, it's liberating. It feels like being a free slave. No, like I get to get out of wherever it is I'm in. There's no
I
boxes
love
I
it.
can
I
go.
love it. I
And
love
I
it.
just
I love
love
it.
that idea. And
Yes.
so
Yes. Yes.
no matter where I go with my fitness and all the training, swimming and everything else I do, running is my first love. So I started doing track in junior
Right.
high, and I ran
Okay.
in the Junior Olympics. So like
Yeah.
running is my thing.
Yes. Excellent.
Is
Excellent.
the triathlon. If I'm slow on the swim, which I will be, trust me, run.
Yes.
I got this. I got
Yes.
this.
Yes. You come
440
through.
relay. I
You
was
come through
always the
right there.
last girl. Yeah, like
Yes.
I got that.
Yes. So
So
you have the speed or the endurance? What do you have?
I have the speed. The speed. I
Yes.
mean, yeah, because I would come from way from behind, so it has to be
Yes.
the power.
Yes. Yes. Good. Good.
The
Awesome.
baton. I was like,
Mhm.
she can go. I got this.
Yeah.
And
I love it. I
yeah,
love it. That's excellent. That's so good. Yes, running is such a beautiful thing, and
I
a lot
love
of
to
people,
run.
and with that being said, and we're definitely going to talk a lot, about this. But running is such an easy thing to do, or at least to start as a base of fitness, because you can start with the walking and slowly
Yep,
increase for people
yep,
that are interested in that. But we're definitely going to jump into that. So
yeah,
let's keep that in
yeah.
mind. So
Okay.
is fitness the one thing that keeps you balanced? Is there any other thing that you use, anything else that you use to maintain your balance as a woman?
I mean, I would say fitness would be a component of what I would
Mm,
do to maintain
mm,
my balance, but it
mm,
wouldn't just be that.
mhm.
It would be holistic health, if you will, and fitness
Okay.
would be a component of that,
Okay.
you
Okay.
know?
Yes. Yes.
So there's this mental part that has to connect with the physical.
That's right.
And I found through experience that you can't segment it. If
Yes.
it's just fitness and then you don't have the mental connection, first off, your gains are going to be very minimal. And
Yep.
secondly, it's just not going to grow in a way naturally
Yes.
as you would. It would be like a forced thing because
Hmm.
there's no bridge to connect the two. When you have that connection, I'm telling you, it's powerful. You got
That's
to
beautiful.
have that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I would say, I mean, fitness is a part of it because, look, I mean, exercise has a lot to do with your health and getting your body to move and
Hmm.
having, in fact, even your organs to be able to operate. Like you
Right.
can't be stagnant.
Right. Right.
So fitness and moving helps to promote health,
Right.
but it
Right.
is not the only thing that I use
Right.
to keep grounded, but it is a major part. Absolutely.
Okay. Can you just step into or share with us some of those other components that help
I can
balance you?
absolutely.
Yes.
So it's mental and it's also spiritual.
Yes.
And it's
Yes.
important to know that the two are not the same.
Right. Yes.
Okay. And when you start getting into your meditation, which is one of the things I teach at my health retreat, when you start
Mhm.
getting into meditating, I always tell people to separate, or there's your mind that goes on, and then
Mhm.
there's you.
Yes.
And that you're not your mind and you're not those thoughts. That's the ego part of you
Yes.
that
Yes.
has to keep going. It
Mhm.
has to have you
Mhm.
focus on it. It has to
Mhm.
have you move. Oh, I'm going to sit down and meditate. You'll hear thoughts like, did I balance a checkbook today? Or did I go, that's
Right. Right.
that's
Right.
the mental.
Right.
But you have the spiritual part of it that you want to be able to grow on. When you grow in the spiritual part through meditation and prayer,
Yes. Yes.
then you can control the mental better,
Yes.
and the mental doesn't control you. A lot of times, and what I'm seeing, especially now after this pandemic and everything going
Mhm.
on, is people are being controlled mentally
Mm.
by, I could just say, this machine, and
Yes.
it'll come through
Yes.
portals like the TV, the
Mhm.
internet, your phone, your
Yes.
iPad, your this, your that, and you're being controlled by it unless you stop.
Yes.
You would think to yourself, I want this to end. The only way it can end is if you take time and sit down by yourself and silence your mind,
Yes.
and so that
Yes.
your spirit can then lead you on
Right.
wherever you're trying to go. So
That's
that's how I have my balance. It's not just because, like, it's not just my fitness. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, well, then how do I decide if I want to even exercise today? Who's
Right.
leading me?
Yes.
That
Yes.
has to come from all in here.
It's so
So,
very true. So
mhm,
very true. I mean, because, I've always been a big fitness person too. I don't know if you see my social media, and I've, been in a couple of shows as well. And so for me, that fitness was my go-to, and it has always been my place to balance me. But
yeah.
when everything was going crazy during the pandemic and so forth, that fitness couldn't maintain me because one, I couldn't retrieve it at the same level that I always had
You
in by
see?
going to the gyms and, and training like I always did. And I even tried to train more at home and, do some different programs at home, but it just wasn't the same for me because up
Yep.
here, the
Yep.
connection wasn't right. So it wasn't until I brought the meditation into my world that I'm back to training, I'm back to doing everything,
You
I'm
see?
balanced, I feel like myself again,
That's right.
Yeah, it's
And
so
then
true.
you can take in the things that are going on around us, like all these news stories that, listen, if you're not grounded,
Yes.
this
Oh,
is going to knock you off your feet,
that's
especially
right.
now, because you have to understand there's an energy that goes behind any kind of information. And if
Yep.
you look close enough, you can tell whether it's a positive energy or
Yep.
negative.
Yep. Without a
Okay.
doubt.
But what's going on right now is a lot of negative energy out there. I'll say it for
Hmm.
those of you who don't know. It's
Tell,
not that
tell,
positive.
tell him, girl. Tell him.
It's not
Tell him.
that positive. So
Yep. Yep.
if you have your spiritual on point, then you'll be able to take in this information and then dissect it and do with it what needs to be done. Either it can fall by the wayside. Maybe you might be an activist for something you might hear, but
Right.
you won't at the end of the day go, I am spent and I'm just
Right.
going to hit the floor and fall out. You won't do that
Right.
because you're strong enough to now. It's not going to take you off your feet because you have to understand good is over evil anyways.
Yes. Yes.
And it can't dethrone you then, but you can be dethroned if you are out there without. This is what I would say: if you're out there without spiritual strength, you are just like dangling nowhere. You're in
Right.
the middle of air,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
anything can blow you in any direction. It's not
Right.
a good idea to do.
Right,
So
right. No, no, that's some great points, some very valuable
yeah.
points there. And sometimes even with that social media and the news and so forth, you know what? I make a determination for myself and for my
Mhm.
spirit and for my energy not to even have it on. Like I don't look
Yeah,
at the news, I don't connect
yeah,
with it.
yeah.
I just can't, especially when all those things were going on. And in some ways you say, well, you're missing out. You don't know what's happening. I said, you know what? I'll find out what's happening. Because if it's meant for me to know, I'm gonna find it out.
I hear that too.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and so I definitely get that. So some great information there for my listeners, in terms
What you
of
can do, a
making their
side note, with
decisions.
with your social media, apart from setting it on a timer and just
Mhm.
deciding how much you want to take in per day,
Yeah. Yep.
what I've done and what's really helpful is you can change your feed though, guys. Like
Hmm.
if you come across people, because we don't always share. in the same genre, if you will, all the time. Like we're not going to always just do outfits that we're wearing, and we're not going to all, So if you find that there's a page you're following that changes and it's going in a direction that might not sit well with you at this time,
Mm-hmm.
because it's always maybe now, maybe not,
Right.
you can not follow them for a moment and
Right.
then come back and follow them. You can create your own feed and have it be how you want it to be.
Right.
And then come like, but what happens sometimes is people think when you get on social media, once you follow someone, you're stuck following them, and then that's it. And so when I end up unfollowing, they'll come and say, "Why did you unfollow?"
What?
And I'm like, "I'll be back. I'm working on something right." It's not like
Yes.
that. So
Yes.
you
Yes.
have the freedom to do that. People need to understand you're not locked in. This is not a marriage here. You and here's the thing: if you come back to that person, it's even more appreciative. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because that
Right.
person's stuck in your head. There's so many people out there to follow.
Oh my
So
goodness, right? No, so so true. So so true. So let me ask you this. What would you tell to women of color about what fitness can do for them? What fitness and that spiritual and, mental connection with the fitness aspect of it, because, you're one of my first guests that, is speaking about fitness, and I've been waiting for
you're
you.
kidding me.
Yes, I have a lot of people talk about meditation, yoga, and, you
You're
know,
kidding.
Reiki healing and spirit and eating, vegan eating and plant based, and which is amazing stuff, But I've been looking forward to having this conversation with you in terms of fitness, because that's the other
Yes.
piece that we need to have. So, what would you tell, one, to our women of color about what fitness can do for them? And then the other piece of that is, where should they start if they're interested? Like, where do they begin on their journey?
So fitness, first off, fitness, it chose me. I didn't even choose it. That's what
Right,
happened first. I mean,
right.
because I was working in administrative and I decided, like, I was working administrative. I've always been doing fitness, even though I taught the classes. I
Hmm.
started going into admin. My major was communications and being a
Right.
6 o'clock news reporter. That's all I wanted to do
Oh,
until I
okay.
found out what we know now. But um, it chose me. But then as I started going along with it and I started to teach and become a personal trainer,
Hmm.
I started to realize the necessary component, and fitness will help you get your, how can I say this? It will help you avoid a
Hmm.
lot of illnesses
Right, right. Yes.
because it'll keep your blood circulating and your lymphatic system going, you're sweating, and it just, there's so many different components of fitness that will help you on your health journey without you even knowing it. And that
Right.
is why that's one of the big ones I always tell people about is the exercise, because you're hitting so many different systems. There's 11 systems in
Yes.
the body. You're hitting
Yes.
almost all of them
Yes.
without even knowing it. Whereas
Right.
if you just segmented, okay, well, I need to take vitamins for this. I got to sit down and do this. Just simple exercise will, it's like bowling. You're knocking
Yes.
down almost all those things.
That's right.
And
Excellent.
it also helps you with confidence, because once you, I got my workout in for today.
Right.
I did it. There's
Check.
your confidence
Yeah.
building.
Yep.
And then from there, it helps in the way that you look. People know what fitness looks like.
Right.
They
Right.
know. So when you walk into a room,
Bam.
the way that you're received is completely different than someone
Hmm.
who's not fit.
Hmm.
I'm
Hmm.
telling you, it is like major. You just become that leader. You become that role model. You
Right.
become that people want to do what you do. And it's not to say I do it for that reason, but I do it because I don't like to know that our people are being targeted as far as poor health so that people can make money off of us.
That's right.
Whereas if we could turn that around by just simply exercising, by simply
Yep.
just walking 30 minutes a day and
Yep.
then going there, grabbing a pair of dumbbells, and that will stop a lot of the people preying on us, if you
Yes.
will,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
just by starting and doing exercise.
That's good.
So
No. So true.
that, and then once you start doing that, here's the cool thing: the body
Right.
is, it adapts so quickly. It will
Hmm.
ask you for it. So if
Hmm.
you went for a week walking every single day and then you decide that you're not going to walk for like a day or two or three, the body goes, well, we're not walking
Right.
today. You know what I'm saying? And it will
Right.
ask you for that.
Right. Yes.
And so things and the decisions that you start making throughout your daily life will be altered because of your ability to be fit. Can
Mm-hmm.
you carry a few more grocery bags that day? You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Or
Yes.
can you,
That's right.
you know, get across the street instead of having to drive that U turn and go?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's certain things that life becomes easier when you are more fit.
Yes. 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 So true. So true. So I know a lot of women, of course, as well, of course, have some level of hesitancy or not sure where to start. So when you first meet one of your clients, and I know you also do weight training, you do a lot of weight training with them as
I
well, and
do.
you know I
I
love
do.
that.
I
So
do.
if they say, "Well, I'm not ready for that. I'm not ready for that. Where should I start? What can I do? You know, what's that first level that you offer them or you tell them to do? Is there anything you can share with my followers in terms of that first level where they should start?
Yeah, I when I started training people,
Mm-hmm.
I would get people that would just be like, I don't even think they knew what was what was in store, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I
They didn't
know.
know. I think they just had this idea that we were going to chit chat and talk about nutrition or whatever, or we would just do, some kind of sit-ups and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I would get people, this was interesting that I learned though. I would get a lot of yoga people that would come to
Okay.
me
Okay.
who, after doing years of yoga, the doctor would send them to a trainer to look
Right.
to do what they call weight bearing exercise.
Right. Mm-hmm.
In layman's terms, weight lift.
Yep. Weightless.
Because you can't just do yoga and
Right.
not have weightlifting because that's yoga's not going to keep your bones from shrinking.
That's right. That's right. So true.
Weightlifting will. But
Yes.
then weightlifting doesn't prepare you and set you up for meditation like yoga does. So I would
Right.
do this, but you
Yes.
gotta. So what I would say to them, I normally tell people because they'll be like, "Well, I want to go in the gym."
Mm-hmm.
How that's a scary thing because
Right.
you think that most people in the gym know what they're doing, but when you get in there and
You're
you
like,
work in there
you're
with
like,
me,
you're
let
like,
me tell
whoa.
you,
You're like, whoa, whoa. You sound like
I I can walk through the gym and I can tell you who's working on what, who knows what they're doing, who's not. And
exactly.
that was why I have this goal for the world is to have optimal global health because
Mhm.
when you all know what you're doing, and this should just be something that we should know. We should not really, to be honest, we should not have to be really having to consult trainers and stuff. But we're doing that now because it's not something that's taught. We're taught to sit down, work for someone, look at a computer, and not do anything.
Right.
And so
Right.
this exercise is some kind of luxury. So I would take them and I would either I would go with them to the gym and show them each machine.
Okay.
If you want to start in the gym, find someone to take you and show you each machine.
Good.
If you are not going to ask someone to do it, let's say you're headstrong and I'll do it myself, then
Right.
you're going to have to stand there at each machine. There's a sticker on each one that will explain to you what each one does. If you don't look like a complete fool, then you can
Mm-hmm.
take your phone and take a picture of each one, go home and
Mm-hmm.
look at it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you
Right.
need
Right.
to know
Right.
what each machine is going to do for you.
Right.
The reason why I start with machines in a gym is because machines will help you keep your form and prevent getting injured.
Yes.
Because if you get injured now, here we go again. We got to take 3 steps back,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. So
Right.
that's a gym. If you wanted to start at home, there are
Mm-hmm.
tons of videos. I've got exercise videos on my page, on my YouTube channel, Vegan Fitness Goddess TV. But there's so many others that you can start with and start, with your weights with some
Right.
dumbbells.
Right.
You know,
Right. Right.
um, get a friend if you need that
Right.
support or that push. Get a
Right.
friend. You know,
Right. Yes. Yes. Yes.
go ahead. I always tell people get a trainer, even if
Yes.
you're not going to stick with that trainer for a good 3 months.
Yes.
Even have a trainer for your first 2, 3 sessions, where a lot of gyms do that.
Yes.
Invest in yourself. Do not just
Yes.
because I get tired. I'm a gym rat. I get
Right.
tired
Me
of
too.
seeing
Me too.
people who are in the gym for 4 years and they look the same because you don't know what you're doing. And that's what trainers are
Exactly.
here.
Right. Right.
And
So.
as a trainer, I consult a trainer. I don't,
Yes.
first of all, this is what people don't know. Trainers are like doctors. We
Right.
have areas of specialty.
Right.
My
Right.
specialty is strength. I'm
Right.
not a bodybuilder. So
Right.
when I am looking to go into bodybuilding, which I am,
Mm-hmm.
I have a trainer for that because that's not my area.
You got it. That's right.
So there's different areas. So when you're looking for your trainer, you also need to know what that's about. Like I do
Right.
triathlete coaching. Not all trainers do that. So you
Right.
got to look for all of that as well. But we're
Right.
here for you. You
Right.
have to you have to seek that person or that help out.
Right, definitely, definitely. And not to get overwhelmed with it, not to get like, oh my God, so many layers. I got to do this. Just start at the beginning.
That's it.
Walking, go to the gym, like you were saying, get a trainer, or at least someone to show you. And if you don't want to do all that, then you know what? I even saw QR codes on the machines now. So you just
Okay.
use a QR code and
Yeah.
it gives you what the machine does, how
Yes.
to, sit properly, how to lift the weights and so forth. And nowadays, something very important that you mentioned about the weight bearing exercises. As women, we need that. Stop thinking that, lifting weights is going to make you bulky. I can't even believe that they even still think that at this point. But if you do, you need to wake up. You need to wake up and understand that lifting weights is essential. Those weight bearing exercises essential for us, keeps away the osteoporosis, builds strong, all those things. So got to get there, right? Got to get that fitness
I
in.
have I've had women who have come to me and have said, "Oh, I don't want to get big," and I'm like, just think about that. If it was that easy to get big, then guys would all be big, and you
Right.
should see the guys in their struggle. It's not that easy. This whole talk
Exactly.
with, well, oh, that's not them. It's just steroids.
Right, right,
Listen, it is not. Even with it is
right.
not. You have to put it for atrophy, muscular atrophy. In other
Yep.
words, to be muscularly big and the
Yep.
size,
Yeah.
it takes. This is what I would say. I tell my everyday people this, because there's this one guy now who, oh, he gained half an inch in his biceps, one of my clients. He's so excited. Because you know
Oh,
why? He
yeah.
does bicep curls more than anything else. I always tell people, you're going to do 100 reps for that muscle group if you
Right.
want that muscle group to grow per
Right.
day.
Yes.
So
Wow.
how are
Wow.
you going to come to Vegan Fitness Goddess and I'm going to train you? You're going to say, well, I don't want to do 3 sets with a 20-pound dumbbell because I'm going to look like Schwarzenegger. It's never going to happen.
Don't even
You
worry
have
about it.
no idea the work that they put in.
Right.
So
Right.
no,
Right.
don't feel like that. And here's the other thing: muscle contracts anyway before it expands. You
Right.
got a long way to go before start worrying about I'm looking like a guy. It's not happening. Like it's not gonna happen.
Exactly, exactly.
Yeah,
Do it for your health. Get in there, get
yeah,
to that gym, go
yeah,
walking or do something just to get your body moving. And I think that's what you were saying in the beginning. That movement is essential. And I'm so glad you have incorporated all that and you're out
yeah.
there spreading that word and that knowledge with everyone.
But I
Um,
will say that the weight lifting, it does can compact your body
yes,
so that you're not all wiggly.
yes,
We
yes,
complain about stuff like my arm.
yes.
Once you do weights, your body is mwah, I'm telling you,
Exactly. It's
all of
high.
that is
It
gone.
pulls it. Yeah, you're right. It pulls it all, and they don't
One
even.
that's the poor man's plastic surgery. That's what I tell
Yeah.
people.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's a great way to say it. Poor man's
That's
plastic
it.
surgery. It does it.
That's
Yeah.
it.
So, so true. So, I look at you here, and you got your mindset together and your philosophy together. But let me ask you, as a woman of color, what struggles have you overcome? What lows did you hit that you were able to, pull yourself together and be this woman sitting in front of me now?
So as a woman of color, what I've learned or what I noticed is that there are many, many, many people that judge books by their cover.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing we can do about it. I
Right.
can tell you all day to stop doing that, but it's
Yeah.
just what we do.
Right.
Um, and there are stereotypes that circulate that are not so positive about us a lot of times too. And a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people seem to tend to remember the negatives more than the positives. So what I do is I just ignore the negative stereotypes because they don't apply to me. And I
Mm-hmm.
walk in any place with confidence. That's the first foot I put in the door is confidence.
Right, right, right.
When I put confidence in that door first, that literally blows people's wigs back because they're not
Mhm,
expecting that.
mhm,
And the
mhm.
first thing they say is, well, who is that? You know what I
Right,
mean? Like,
right,
because
right.
confidence, which comes with fitness and exercise, remember, I did it, I did this
Yes,
workout, your
yes,
confidence.
right,
And when you walk in the door that way and you come with confidence, that breaks down so many stereotypes right out of the gate.
right, right, right.
Smiling is also something that
Hmm.
breaks down a lot of
Yes,
stereotypes,
yes,
but
without a
you
doubt.
have to come in there with confidence. I've had people try to do things to stop me. I mean, I don't want to go into this story, but I'm a victim of police brutality.
Wow, wow,
My
whoa.
story could, I'll tell you, since we're talking about the lockdown and the stories that kept,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't breathe
definitely,
and all of this, the story
definitely.
that matches my experience is the Sandra Bland story.
Wow. Okay. Yes.
What happened? I did smoke, but that was not what happened during the
Yeah.
incident.
Right.
The police beat me to smithereens.
Wow.
I
Oh my
still have a
goodness.
scar on the side of my mouth for that.
Wow.
And
Oh my goodness.
they told me they didn't like black people, of course, women, all this kind of stuff. And I, they, as I say, they tried to take my smile away,
Oh,
but it's not something that can be done,
you see,
obviously.
look how beautiful you are. Look at that
It's nothing to
smile.
be done. But you
Yeah.
know what?
Yeah.
There are people that don't. They try to take you under. But if,
Mm-hmm.
like, I think part of that had to do with my praying mother. But if you're strong,
Mm-hmm.
and here's what happened: the reason they didn't kill me
Right.
because they told me they would.
Mm. Mm.
They said they were going to drop me in Alligator Alley. The reason they did not kill me was because I said to them, they said, "Oh, you're what are you doing?" I said, "I'm studying broadcast journalism." And they were like, "Oh, we're going to see to it that that doesn't happen." They were telling me all this stuff.
Wow.
And
Oh,
yeah, I was like, "What?" Like
right,
these days
right.
when I see it, I totally believe it because I know.
You lived
And
it. Right. You lived it.
yeah, I told them, "Well, here's the thing. If you're going to drop me off in Alligator Alley and kill me, one thing I want you to know is my death will not go silently into the night. I
Mm-hmm.
do
Mm-hmm.
have people who love me, who I swear to you," and I looked them dead in the eye. I
Right.
said, "who will avenge my death." I'm
Right.
just telling you that.
Mm-hmm.
When I said that, these people looked at me like, "Who is this?" You see,
Right.
that's that confidence. So
Mm-hmm.
when you go
Mm-hmm.
with confidence, people can't really stop that. They can't
Right.
really stop
Right.
it.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
you just have to ignore because they're going to look at you and they're going to try to pocket you and put you where they are comfortable with you being.
Right.
You
Right.
don't, you just
Mm-hmm.
stay where you are with a smile and let them know, "I know where you want me to be, but here's where I am and you can meet me here." Don't go with them down there.
Right.
Let them meet you where you know you are.
Beautiful.
So
Beautiful.
that's how I
Beautiful.
move.
No, yeah, that's beautiful. So let me ask you this. So what is your biggest lesson that you've learned in this journey of yours? Your biggest takeaway?
You know what? My biggest takeaway so far
Mm-hmm.
is that I have control over where I'm going.
Mm. Yes.
I have control. It's not where they want me to go or what they want me to do.
Right. Right.
I have the control. And you know what? You can decide which would be the best for you if you but sit still and listen. You'll have that guidance.
Yes. Yes. And that's where that meditation comes into play too.
That's where it comes into play, but you
Yeah.
have control over it. And so
Exactly.
where you think that people are thinking something about you, they're not thinking that about you.
Mm,
How could
mm.
you know? You're not in their head anyways. That's
Right.
you putting in their head. And
Mm.
if someone did that to you, you wouldn't like it. So don't
Right.
even do that. Because
Right.
remember, anything that you're thinking is going to help in the direction that you're going to go in.
Yep.
So don't think that. If you
Yep.
have
Yep.
control of where you're going, think about the direction you're
We
going
want to
in.
go. Right. We are our thoughts. Yeah,
That's the part.
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's very good. So, in terms of this wisdom and knowledge, what would you share, or what would you tell our young women of color, the ones that are coming up, kind of just getting their little wings wet? Like what would you share with them?
Because, like, if I was talking to my smaller self, right, my younger
Yeah,
self,
yeah. What would you tell her?
like,
What would you tell her?
I would have told, I would have loved for someone to tell me this, but it's all good because everything happens the way it's supposed to. Nothing is on accident, and
Right,
everything that's happening is happening the way it's supposed to happen, which is why it's happening.
right, right, right.
One, you have to accept that everything that's happening is happening, and it's going to be okay. One
Right.
thing you have to understand is after the rain, the sun shines.
Yes,
And literally, I did not know that when I was younger. The
yes,
sky was always falling. And
yeah.
my mom was like, "It's not that serious." I was like, "Oh, really, you're going to get through it. I
Yes,
promise you."
yes. Oh,
So
beautiful,
that's one of the
beautiful.
main things that you have to know. The other thing I would tell you is um, if you feel moved to
Mm-hmm,
do something,
mm-hmm.
do it.
Right.
Do not think of what will so and so think.
Yep.
When you get older, you're going to say, "Who cares?
Right,
Trust
exactly.
me." And you
Exactly.
could have done so and so.
Right.
Do not live for what other people are thinking because what they're thinking is none of your business.
Right,
That's
right,
what they're thinking, and how
right.
they feel about it is how they have to work that out. That's not even because I wanted to heal everyone and just
Hmm.
be that person that, well, if I do this, then everyone will be happy. It's not, no matter what you do,
Yep,
not
yep.
everyone is going to be happy.
No,
So move in the direction that you feel moved to go. Know that your storms are going to pass and
yes.
just keep going and keep going and keep going.
I love it. That's some great wisdom for our young
Yeah,
people because they
yeah,
will have a lot of obstacles that they have to get through and
yeah.
they have to know that there is a rainbow, that there's beauty, there's
It is.
positivity,
Yeah.
there waiting, that's good. That's good. So, can you give me one word to describe what fitness does for you?
Hmm. One word. Would it be? I would say wealth.
Well, oh, okay. Yes, health is
That's
well.
going to be the word because fitness will give you the health. And
Yes.
to me, riches. Riches is
Hmm.
wealth. And the riches are your health, your inner, your whole being.
Yes.
I can't tell you how many wealthy clients I have had and do have
Hmm.
that do not have their health
Oh,
because
okay.
they are not practicing fitness. They are
Right.
chasing the dollar and their
Hmm.
lives revolve around where's the money going,
Yep.
let's,
Yep.
and
Yep.
they're not focused. And so we have no time for exercise.
Hmm. Hmm.
So wealth, if you want wealth, fitness is that doorway for
That's
that.
right. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So, one of my questions I love sharing, with my guests is, as this beautiful queen in front of me and the crown that you're currently wearing, what jewels do you have in your crown? And what jewels would you like to place in there in the future? So, we're talking about jewels like integrity or compassion
Mhm.
or, what jewels do you currently have in your crown now?
My jewels, well, first of all, my name Pricha means prosperity.
Right.
And I've just grown into that. Exactly. Like actually where veganism began for me, which was like 20 years ago, okay,
Mhm, mhm,
it grew me and prosperity came with that and ethical came with that and integrity came with all of
mhm.
that.
Right,
And so those are all crown jewels that keep being added. They're going to be constantly added as you continue to march forward on your journey.
right, right.
And you just have to be open to going on the path that is laid out in front of you. One of
Mm.
the things I did or used to try to do was go in the other direction. I did. I
Ah!
tried to resist. I tried to resist. I tried to, man. I was gonna fit that square into that circle
That's right, that's right. And I'm going that
until
way.
I was gonna go. And like I said, fitness chose me. I was really gonna go a different way. And there were the signs. Like I said, if you look back even now in your life, those signs, you'll be like, you know what, that was a sign. There were
Mhm.
signs and there will be signs that will tell you where you need to be going.
Right,
Because
right,
there's some dead ends that you don't want to be going down. You know what I'm
right,
saying? So
right, 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 right.
the jewels will come. They'll come. What would I like to add to that? I don't really have anything in particular because
Okay.
I'm just open to the journey. I'm really enjoying it. But I can tell you this much. One thing that I added, I don't know if this is a jewel, but it will turn into that, I guess,
No, go
is
ahead.
daily affirmations.
So a little self-love. So the self-love aspect of the self-love.
Well, but you can do affirmations in any area
Right, true.
for your
Very true.
business, for your this,
Yes,
for your that.
yes,
But
yes.
what I started to do, and this is only guys, this is within the last month.
Right,
I've started to do my affirmations in front of the mirror. This is
right.
called mirror work.
Yes,
That I
yes.
got from Louise Hay. Louise
Yes.
Hay, you can heal in
Yes,
your life.
yeah, yeah.
And those I'm not even lying when I tell you this. After doing them for like 3 days, there have been so many different, I could say miracles, blessings, whatever you want to call them, from doing the affirmations and doing
Wow.
them in front of the mirror. I
Right.
don't know what jewel is going to be placed there, but that is the already the cherry to
Oh, great.
bring everything together. So if you feel stuck or stagnant or why can't I know what I need to do, I can't quite there may be some mental subconscious things that you're telling yourself that you don't
Hmm.
even know about, that when you start doing these affirmations, it'll unlock that and
Oh,
off
yes.
you go.
Definitely,
So,
definitely. So that's yeah. So we're not sure what to call it, but it's that jewel of affirmation or whatever that is, that reassurance or
yes,
that positive self-talk,
yes,
you know, connected to
yes.
whatever it is.
I
You
like
know,
reassurance. That might be the
yes,
thing.
yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
that might be
Oh my
the thing.
goodness. Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
That's amazing. You know
yeah.
what? Miss Priha Lord, or the vegan fitness goddess.
Yes.
Thank you so much for your time today and your wisdom and your little nuggets of fitness and, health
I'm
and
honored.
spirituality. Thank you so much for sharing it with my
Thanks for
followers and
having
listeners.
me.
Oh my goodness. Yes. I know that, especially as we go into the new year, that people are going to be needing to hear these things.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna kick off a weight loss challenge. You don't miss it now, because I'm gonna
Okay.
kick that
All
off.
right. All right. All right now. All right. Well, listen, thank you so much for joining us today. And
Thanks for
I know,
having me.
please, everyone, all my followers, follow up with Miss Vegan Fitness Goddess. She's amazing. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Have a
God
wonderful
bless.
day.